Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop. Alright guys, we're going to get serious. Alright, you guys ready? 765 4 3 2 1. Okay guys, someone time me. Laying up this part. See guys, it's not the laying up process that takes a long time. It's all the prep you gotta do. All the stuff. Waxing your molds, priming them, cutting all your cloth, cutting your foam, molding your foam, cutting your peel ply, cutting your matting. That's where your time is. Yeah. So this is just my 3/4 ounce cloth. That's all we're using. You know why? 'Cause that's all you need. I had someone asking me yesterday about my molding. You know, and I know there's molding videos in there, but my molding has proceededly gotten better. These are my best ones. See that? It looks like a shoebox, but it's hollow inside. Okay? And they're basically done. All you do is once you got your parting plane, say this is my parting plane and there's a jet in there, come and glue you some boards, just a hot glue gun, on the side of it, and then mold right up the side as you're molding your part. And then you get this, which sets nice and flat when you're doing your part. It don't tweak, it don't distort. Then I use a good tooling resin for my first couple, layers. I think the fuel tank molds I just made, I think I covered some of them. But next time I do some molding, I'll be sure and make some more videos for you new guys. But my molds have gotten better since I started making these videos. Every time I made a mold, it just got a little better than the last one. You know, I got me some scrap pieces already cut for these places that gonna need it. Right around that corner. And these bigger duck bills, they don't work as good as I was hoping. I like the smaller duck bills. They seem to be a little sharper. These are fairly new scissors and they just don't cut real super good. I like them little ones did. Them little things work good, but this light cloth is kind of hard to cut anyway. You gotta have really sharp scissors. No dry spots. That's the biggie. Look it over real good. Make sure there's no dry spots. And no glass missing anywhere. Now this lightweight cloth there ain't much there, so you really need to make sure everything's covered. You can put a little extra resin down. The extra stuff will come up. You want to make sure you got enough rather than just borderline, you know. Okay, now my phone This stuff did not come with holes in it. I poked them holes in there with my little poker. Okay? Some of it does, some of it don't. And even on these small parts, you know, the stuff that does come with holes don't have enough. So, don't hurt to add a little. Make sure you get enough resin on these sides. Bam. 6% female viewers. So see, y'all thought that was just butt crack the other day. No, I'm gonna rename that. That's man cleavage. That's what that is, baby. That draws in the hot chicks. Okay, you see how I cut that, notch that in there? It just fits that corner perfect. Just perfect. Okay. Everything fits nicely. Bam. So every now and then we gotta get a little man cleavage going on. That draws the hot chicks, man. That's how we got up to 6%, baby. So all you ladies out there, just watch this. Learn how to make some jet parts. Your husband will be a happy man. Alright, my baby built me a jet. I just love you. That's better than homemade cookies. Man, if I could get my wife out here making me a jet, I'd go do the dishes. And be happy about it. Shoot, I'd be vacuuming. You know? Something about that. Women just like, you know, guys think, well, if I bring my wife home some flowers, she'll be all happy and be in the mood. Man, you want to get your woman in the mood? Grab that vacuum cleaner. Say, sit down, baby. Let me get that for you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Get a little man cleavage going on when you're vacuuming. And go do the dishes. Oh yeah, she'll be in the mood, man. Give her the moat, turn it to the Oprah channel. Yeah, that'll get your woman in the mood right there. Ain't that right, ladies? Bam! Simple little piece right there where that exposed foam was. Go in here and trim this extra glass off. Bam! Okay. Okay, I'm going to reuse these gloves. You got barely any resin on them. That's my right, that's my left one. There's my right one. This is the thumb. Okay. Bam! Now we're ready to take this tape off. What this tape does is it keeps my molds clean. You know, one thing I don't want is primer all out here. And, you know, around my lugs, and it's just a mess to clean up. You know, and you just have to clean it up every time too. And you don't need no part all the way out here. It's waxed. So when I wax my whole mold, and then I put my tape on, and then spray my mold release, which is part all number 10, and then I use epoxy primer. You know why? If you spray this mold with a urethane primer, like I use for my plugs, I love urethane primer for my plugs, and when I'm painting, it sands nice. I mean, you could spray it 30 minutes later, you can sand it, and it don't gum your paper up. But if you spray your primer in this part, I mean, you can do it, but you just can't let it sit. You know, if you spray this, you have to get it covered that day. Or what happens is it shrinks and it lifts off the mold, and you might not see it and lay your part up, and then you got a big old nasty ugly void. You know, and then like on a fuselage, this glass is so small it'll never show any leak no matter what primer you use. But on a fuselage, the primer will shrink and you can see your glass weave in there. Okay, now this green primer, this is actually a metal etching epoxy primer. That's what this is. The green is metal etching. It's for bare metal. But it don't shrink, not one little bit. I can leave this primer in here for a month and it will never lift. And that tells me, you know, because on the radiuses and stuff, it does not shrink. Okay, and that's why, you know, then you can never see any glass weave in my fuselages or anything. And so that's why I use that metal etching primer for my parts. And it's fine, you know, once you start priming over it for your paint. I don't really spray too much of primer on the part itself, just where it needs it. You know, I don't, when I'm getting ready to paint one of these jets, I don't just put 3 coats of primer on the whole plane. It's just, it's a waste of primer, adds weight, and I just don't need it. So I work on, oh, I shouldn't have pulled this off yet. Work on the parts that need filling. And the only time I Bondo it, I mean prime it, is where I've Bondoed. Put Bondo. So I know people that when they spray primer, man, they go to town and it's just too much, you know. Okay, pull the rest of this off. Got some matting already cut. You want your peel ply bigger, a little bigger than your part, and you want your matting a little smaller than your part. You never want this matting to touch your part, because it will be glued to it solid. And Okay, then I got me some plastic. Now I use this plastic over as many times as I can. Because I'm a cheapskate and that's how I roll. All this stuff costs money, man. Everything you see costs money. You know, and that's a shame about this stuff because it is not cheap to do this. Vacuum bag and stuff. Okay, now I need some pleats. Not many, only 4 of them will do. You put your pleats where you need them. So I don't really want to put this pleat right here in this corner. I want to come up where the part's going to start to bend. Okay? You just kind of stick that right there. Come up, bring your plastic up. And kind of down the other side. Okay, and plus you can kind of steer a little bit where you put that pleat. Okay? Really don't need to steer it any type of direction because everything's going good. Okay? Now we're going to come all the way around. All the way around to right here, straight across from that other pleat. Okay? I can kind of steer it. I'll put it where I want it. See, that's going to, you just want to get it to where that plastic is going to just touch everywhere. It lays down everywhere without actually putting pressure on it. Okay, I'm going to come all the way over here. See, I got this big old wrinkle here. That's going to let everything just lay down nicely. Okay, I don't need a pleat here because that just runs up to nothing. I just want to kind of follow this wrinkle. Put me a pleat right there. Okay, now to finish it off, just run your finger that way and let that tacky tape kind of double. I'll go over it. I'll make sure it's all how you want it. I hear a leak somewhere. Aha, there it is. You kind of pull up on a wrinkle to test your vacuum. You don't like something, pull it off, adjust it. See, we're pulling a good vacuum, you can already see resin coming through them holes that I poked in there. That's that extra resin I put on the bottom. It's going to pull it right up, right through the pill ply, right into that matting. And that is exactly what we want to happen. Sure that radius is down good, bam. Perfect. And I got a junction block with 4 other hoses so I can lay up 5 parts at a time. So I'm gonna keep rolling, load up this video real quick, and I might make another movie this afternoon. Bam, we'll see you back in the shop.